Nice.
Okay. According to that weird robot voice, we're recording in progress. We got 40 minutes. We're on a tight window here. What was that? We've been trying to record on our traditional app that we normally use, which is Zencastr, and it's down for some reason. So we're recording on Zoom like we're in the middle of the pandemic.
It's down.
It's down.
It's done.
Zoom is down, or Zencastr's down.
Where were yins when Zencastr went down?
Where were yins? So welcome back. This is episode 14. It's crazy because I think it's only like week 10 of the college football season.
Week 11.
Week 11 of the college.
I wouldn't know if I didn't just see it because I just looked at ESPN to look at our things from last week.
Dude, this has been a really, really fun. Obviously, we do this every week, even if we weren't on the air. Mm-hmm. But I think getting this out and talking about niche college football stuff is such a weird, big part of my life, even though it probably shouldn't be. It's nice to this is an out loud journal for us to talk back and forth. And by the way, it really all starts with David Shaw being a staunch conservative. Which
it does.
We don't know if it's true or not, but his football coaching style makes me think that he was there on January 6th.
David Shaw was up all night expecting the red wave, and it just didn't come. And no one was more upset than him. He's like, we're gonna take that PA Senate seat, and then listen, he should recruit Fetterman. Dude's a legit 6'8".
Yeah, that could talk about the tight end, open up the red zone threat. Come on now,
dude. Imagine having Andrew Luck and just seeing Fetterman in the flat, just dropping that right over the fucking defense. He'd love it.
Picture this in a perfect world. Okay. All right.
No, Colby Fleener.
Andrew Luck drops back the pass, fakes the handoff to Toby Gerhart, and then throws it to Fetterman it's probably a post corner route.
Little fade to the back. Go to the corner. Gary C. Green. That's some,
that's reservations for 6.
People love that. There's some dude in our chat right now. He's like, that's the way football is meant to be played.
That's right. Dude. David Shaw is I will give Stanford credit. They are going a little bit faster.
They're finally catching up. They're finally doing Rich Rod offense from 2006, which is completely obsolete now. Which is completely fucking obsolete. So
this is something that we could talk about.
Listen, I don't know if I have the energy or stamina to talk about West Virginia football.
It's not West Virginia football. It's the coaching carousel.
The coaching carousel.
How many more times can you bear to hear Rich Rod's name before you lose it?
I don't want Rich Rod back. I'll tell you what I want. I want the guy. I want Signetti.
I like Signetti.
I want the dude from App State, or I want Jamie Chadwell. I want those. I don't think we're going to get a big guy here. I don't think Hugh Freeze. I mean, Hugh Freeze could come. His buyout's tiny.
Dude, Hugh Freeze is a PR nightmare. Can we limit PR nightmares?
What did he do? He got some hookers, right?
He had some other stuff go on, recruiting violations, scumbag stuff.
Listen, I don't care if I give me the scummiest coach in the world. I just want to win 10 games. That's all I care about. I'm at the point of my career where I have seen consistent 6-game seasons and 5-game win seasons. I don't care who coaches. I don't give a shit. Can you win 10 games? Cool. Get him in there. Listen, whatever. Give me fucking, I don't care. I just don't. At this point, I'm because Neil Brown's the ultimate nice guy, and everybody's like, oh, we don't want to see him go. And I'm like, dude, you got to win at the end of the day.
You got to win. I don't care how nice you are and the slogans and the recruiting classes. It's all about winning.
He's great, but give me one of those. But I mean, we'll get into that on our recap of how West Virginia.
But
14.5 points.
Here's how, much of a, whatever word you want to call me, savant I am with football. I went back and I found online, you can find this online, some teams will leak playbooks or just they've been around long enough where we'll you can find them online. I saw and found West Virginia's preseason training camp plan and playbook from 2005, 2006, 2005.
Yeah.
So Rich Rod had a list of team rules. Also, this is when Rich Rod was rampantly cheating and running extra practices, if we remember correctly.
It's okay.
He had a weird rule. He had a list of team rules. All right. and one stood out to me. It was like rule number 7, and it was don't use our Xerox machine.
Okay.
Why would he? I don't get that.
I don't know. Listen, I have no idea. We want to get inside the mind of Rich Rod right there.
Let's get inside the mind of a Rich Rodriguez.
Listen, Rich Rod, I don't know. All I know is he was like one of the first dudes to say spread him out and run it in. And we love that. But
did you know how that started?
I don't.
He was at Glenville, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what had happened was it was a basic like shotgun handoff to a running back or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This was in practice. His quarterback dropped the snap and everybody was on, it was like inside zone. So all the linemen were on zone blocking scheme and the quarterback just took off to open space and that was it.
No, was it Richie's like, that's it. Let's just do that. And then he found a little kid from, where's Pat from? Not Daphne, Alabama. Daphne, Alabama. And,
Alabama recruited him to play like receiver or something.
Yeah. That always happens. They're like, oh, this kid wanted to play, defensive back. And then some team gave him a shot at quarterback. And then you're like, oh, shit, it's actually pretty good. But
yeah.
I mean,
Pat White ain't walking through that door.
God, I wish he was. I'd give anything to watch Pat White play 4 more years of college football.
Let's do a recap real quick, and then we'll get into dude. I got some news. I got some spice. Okay.
It's a somber recap. So I'm just gonna go through it. We're gonna do a matter of fact. We're just, I'm gonna be like Coach Tomlin reading out the injury report. There's no fluff. There's no spice. I'm just gonna go down the board.
Read it.
Yenzer started last week at 11.25 units. He ended the week at 6.85 units. The biggest culprit was Boise State just killing us. Boise State -7.5. And I'm going to say this is why. I'm going to put this on me because usually we do a lot of our own picks. I know Franco does his own picks. This was an absolutely sharp banger pick. I think I mentioned it briefly on the pod last week. But any guy that you talk to that is a professional gambler, universally across the board does Boise State. There's one service that I get for free. I'm not going to name the site because I wanted to get doxxed. But the guy puts out a 90 play maybe once a year, and it was Boise State. So,
they lost outright,
which is crazy. I didn't actually watch the game.
I watched every second of it in the back of a comedy club screaming at my phone, and everyone thought I was crazy.
That'll happen. But Boise State lost. I'm just going to go through my list. Boise State -7.5, outright loser. Iowa money line +160, winner. UNC -7.5. That one kind of hurt. We were winning that one, got backdoored. UGA
they need it on the 2.
They kneeled on the 2. That's true. I mean, so that one kind of hurt. UGA -2, West Virginia +14.5. Fuck, West Virginia couldn't even keep it within 2 touchdowns. And then Clemson -3, outright loser. So, you know what? Didn't have the best week. Frankie was okay. He had it was Wisconsin, Maryland under 50.5, winner. Georgia Tech under 41. That was a winner, right? No, that was a loser.
Yeah, that was over. That went over.
Liberty, Arkansas under. That was a winner. Bama, LSU under. That was a loser. And then Boise State -6, loser for him.
That Bama LSU under came in. That Bama LSU over came in after I had already lost so much money on Saturday that I wasn't even mad.
Yeah, no, I mean it was
one of those. It was one of those where I was like, it's over now. I'm content. I'm done.
Can I tell you, this is maybe they'll take my card away for this. So last week, great football weekend, Georgia, Tennessee.
Don't say it.
I maybe watched 3 minutes of college football last week.
You're relegated.
Sorry.
You're banned.
Sorry.
You're relegated.
I didn't want to, I'm not happy about it, but it happened. So I'm just telling the people, I'm honest with the people. So
I respect the honesty, but I mean, like, attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Listen. Your boy was having a little. I was cruising the neighborhoods. Okay, I was having a good time.
Cruising the neighborhoods. What do you mean by that? Are you spinning the block on people?
Spin the block twice like there ain't nowhere to park. Okay, that's what I was doing. But we were walking around when it kind of went all over Cincinnati. Had a little day date. Had a little too much wine. Maybe it got away from the boys. I don't know, but that's okay. Did not watch any football last weekend. I watched a little bit of the West Virginia game, and that was about enough for me to just turn it off. And I don't think I want to watch football anymore today.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the West Virginia game, and it was literally, I wasn't even mad. I was just watching, being like, oh yeah, we suck. Oh yeah, another false start. Oh yeah, another blown coverage. Oh yeah.
That was why it was pretty much it. But the recap as it stands: Yenzer at 6.85 units, Dimes at 6.25.
God.
It sounds like doom and gloom. We've had a backslide. That's what gambling is. You're hot and cold. We are still up over 13 units.
We got punched in the mouth.
We need a get right game. I think
we need a get right game.
We need to play like a D3 team. We need to get our guys in there. We want to get the kids in there, running some different stuff. So
you know how like in like week 12, Alabama will play like the Citadel?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we need.
That's what we need. We just need just team to beat up on, get back. And I'm getting back to fundamentals. I'm only doing a little bit of crazy stuff early, but
we're stressing tackling this week.
We're wrapping up. We're hitting the sleds.
Run fit, hitting holes.
I'm going to be watching college football again. And like I said, I mean, you know what though? I felt kind of good taking a week off. I still watch all the recaps and everything. And you want to take a week off. I wouldn't, maybe it wasn't the best weekend to take because Georgia, Tennessee and all that stuff. But I feel good about it. Okay. No regrets.
No regrets. All right. Well, as long as you have no regrets, I guess that's fine.
Watch 5 episodes of Love Is Blind. Pretty great show.
What is that?
It's on Netflix.
What is that?
Our 3 lady listeners are loving it.
No, we have more than that. What is that?
Love Is Blind. It's like a Netflix reality show where these people just watched an episode about an hour ago. It's like they meet in this, like they can't see each other and they talk, and then that's the person. You have to get engaged to that person. It's wild.
That sounds like hell on earth.
It's you would hate it. Imagine you going on that show and just talking to a girl. And it's always funny because like
I can't see them.
You can't see them.
No, yeah, this is not gonna work. I'm sorry.
But like the dude's always the girls are always like, what are your dreams? Like, what do you want to be? And like the guys always just probing questions. He's like, let's say we were at a concert. Can I put you on my shoulders? Like they always ask, like, dude, I swear to God, they always ask like probing. He was like, let's say hypothetically you played football. What position do you think you'd be? And she's like, I'd be quarterback. He was like, realistically, she's like, left guard. He's like, I knew it. Like they always ask these like little probing questions. It's good. Listen, if you're every dude that's in a relationship knows what I'm talking about because like it's kind of trash. It's great. It's a good show. I'm not gonna be trash. It's a good fucking show. Big fan. Season 3 out right now.
I'm happy you're in a relationship because that doesn't seem like it's ever gonna happen for me.
No.
I gotta end things with the girl I've been seeing.
I'm gonna tell you this, and everybody's gonna tell you the same thing. Honestly, it only happens when you stop looking. It only happens like when it's like one of those things. It's like when you're not even expecting. That's when it rolls.
My dad told me to keep shopping around, so I'm gonna keep shopping around.
Listen, I mean, you're in New York City. You can listen. You're basically in the plot of a rom-com every day.
This is true, and I just had some really good professional photos taken of me today, buddy. I look good.
When are you gonna send one to me?
Whenever they get, I guess, edited, and
you gonna sign it? You gonna sign it for me?
I'll put my signature at the bottom of it. Yeah. And
will you put like to my favorite chuckle fucker Yinzer?
Here's looking at you, kid.
Here's looking at you,
dude. So I guess a little bit. Let's update me. The folks.
Can we do something real quick? Because I think this is important before we get over this.
Yes.
We all know the career plan for the DGNYC podcast is obviously Frankie's stand-up takes off, and then I become his manager, and then he blows up internationally, and I take like all of his money, and we have a falling out, and then like 15 years later, like we go up on a podcast and we make up. Like that's definitely our arc.
15 years. Yeah, I mean, I know 15. Like you took all my money to gamble. 15 years later, we're on Oprah because she'll still be alive. And then we and Franklin, I have to introduce you to someone. Yeah. Ben, can you step out, please?
I'll just like come out and I'll be like, I'm sorry, Frankie. The lifestyle got too big for me. And you're like, you hurt me, brother. And then it ends with us like emotionally crying.
I still love you.
And I'm just like, remember back in the day when we were 2 kids with a dream. And you're like, I forgive you. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if you look at like, are you even a good stand-up comedian if someone close to you doesn't take like half your money?
Dude, I feel like that's what happens, dude. Dane Cook lost so much money from his brother. You can't trust anybody, bro.
No. And especially not your co-host, because he will. Listen, I only take like we've already showed that'll be into the next. I know you got this, but like can we go over the reception to last week's podcast?
Sure, yeah.
Backlash.
We're getting backlash. I know we've plummeted out of the charts. I've noticed that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, might be because of me. Might be because you're bleeping me. Maybe all of our
The bleeps are funny. The bleeps Yinzer's not saying crazy things. I'm bleeping him for comedic effect.
Maybe our OAN listeners are like, let him talk. Maybe he was
let the boy talk.
Yeah, maybe he's about to make a good point. But I mean, a lot of people are like, wow, didn't know he had that side of you, didn't know you're such a scumbag. And I was like, yeah, thanks. So a lot of people are upset, but that's okay.
Do you think there's a large overlap between our listeners and people who think Herschel Walker is like a good guy?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I saw a really great tweet today. There was like someone told Herschel Walker there's going to be a runoff on the 26th, and he started lining up like it was the 40. Like, that's an elite tweet. Just print that one up. But go ahead. I'm sorry. We went on a tangent.
Well, no. This kind of makes sense. Herschel Walker fought some MMA fights, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Dude, I really don't like fighting sports.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big softie, and I have been watching the old UFC pay-per-views as if they're movies.
They're great.
Dude, I'm on UFC 4. I think I've watched the first 4. I'm on UFC 5. Dude, I wish they stayed like this.
Dude, they were so crazy. I remember going out to I remember when I was like probably like 12 or 13 going out to I don't know if it was like Kmart or something, but they had like the dollar DVD bins and all it was the old UFCs. I remember spending like $20 buying all of them and just going home in the summer just binging them. They're nuts. There's the dude with one boxing glove.
Yeah, he had one boxing glove and shoes on.
Mm-hmm. There's a dude that's like 600 pounds and his teeth get kicked all over the fucking ring.
As soon as the fight starts, right. There's a guy that does a Nazi salute.
Yeah, he does. He goes to every part of the.
He does an H-man. He does H-man to the crowd.
And I'm telling you, that was like the shit where like John McCain was trying to like ban it. That shit was wild. Bro.
He was trying to ban it.
Oh yeah, that was a huge thing. Human cockfight.
The UFC banned,
dude. Like that was the cover of Sports Illustrated. It was like John McCain says UFC is human cockfighting. It was great.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a little blast.
You could punch people in the cock in that.
Yeah, you could. Dude, C shots were way allowed.
C shots were allowed, bro. Any means necessary. Also, there were no rounds. I watched a fight. It was UFC 4. It was Hoist Gracie, the father of BJJ, or one, the BJJ guy.
Yeah.
And this older wrestling guy from Michigan who looks like he trains in like a basement that's mostly wood, and he wears gray sweatsuits like all over. Like,
was it Dan the Beast Severin?
I think it was Dan Severin. Yeah. And he it was a 15-minute fight. Dude. And Hoist ended up winning, but it was 15 minutes, bro.
You know the crazy thing about Hoist Gracie, though?
What?
So he was like the third best member of his family, and they picked him to fight because he was the smallest. Because I think it was Hoyler and there was 2 other brothers. They all have the fucking R names.
Yeah.
But they picked Hoist because he was the smallest, and he was supposedly not even the best fighter in the family, but they wanted to put the smallest dude out there to show how dominant they were. Imagine what a flex that is.
Dude, that's actually insane.
Yeah, he was not even. So
we're going to put the runt of the litter out there, and he's still going to dominate this league.
Literally, they looked at him. They're like, we have 2 other studs in the barn, and we're not going to put him in there. We're going to put Hoist out there, and Hoist just fucking rolled.
Don't ruin outcomes for me, but do the brothers ever get in the ring?
Later, but not. Hoist was pretty much like once he started getting big, he was like the UFC like bell cow for the longest time.
Yeah.
His brothers have fought before.
I'm curious to see what happens in UFC 5, 6, and beyond. UFC 6, I think, is when Buffer, the announcer, shows up.
Mm-hmm.
They've been having this guy G-Man, or as me and my buddy who lives across the street have been calling him G-Spot.
Nice.
G-Spot gets on the mic, and he's like, Hoist Gracie.
Well,
Gracie.
I love the double announcer.
The double last name.
That's the double announcer set. If I got introduced in any sport under the double announcement, that's like the old school Yankee.
Brinegar.
That's like the old school Yankee treatment too. That's
number 2, Derek Cheetah. Number 2.
That's so tough. But the thing is, with those old, you'll watch it. It is kind of cool to watch the old evolution of I don't know why now we're a UFC pod, but you'll see the guys, and you'll see okay, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the biggest thing, and then American wrestling is the most dominant thing. And you'll see Randleman and Severin and Liddell, Tito Ortiz, all those dudes, and then it goes to striking, and then it goes back to Jiu-Jitsu, and now you're dealing with the fucking Dagestani guys that can't that just their fucking wrestle fucking is just unbelievable. Like so it is kind of cool to see like the natural
Dagestani.
evolution.
Is that the Russian dudes?
That's like Nurmagomedov and all those dudes. Like that's like Khabib and all his guys.
Okay, and what do they do?
They are just like nonstop pressure wrestling. Like it's kind of, there's some dude that's like super into UFC that's like, this guy's not already talking about, but just to like, if I was going to do like the Big Short and explain what UFC is for now, those dudes are just pure pressure, relentless. And it's almost like a lot of the wrestlers would just like they would just use like, they'd gradually kind of grind you down, where these guys are just full pressure. They're trying to get you to mount. They're hitting you. And it's just like, they're relentless. Like there's no time to catch a break. And they're just like the best wrestlers in the world. And like championship, but all of Khabib's dudes are all fucking killers. Like they're all just killers.
That's crazy.
You think of like a tiny little country and like they are just dominating dudes, but
they wrestle bears as children.
Yeah, they do fucking wrestle bears. They wrestle, but like they're just fucking, I mean, they're just built different. Like I'm sure if you really want to do it, there's a good, I think it's a Netflix documentary about like Khabib and all his dudes, but I mean, it is just so much pressure and so much relentless. Their cardio is incredible. And usually you think of cardio as strikers because wrestlers have good cardio, but these guys are just nonstop pounding you, just like as soon as they're on top, hitting you in the face, looking for chokes. And it's just,
that's crazy. I'm excited to see like what type of fighting is like, because I would like to see people stand each other up and sort of box a little bit.
That was like, dude, what's so funny is that was like whenever like it got super popular, like late 2000s, that's like definitely when it was, when you see like Liddell and Anderson Silva. And that was kind of it. But like at the end of the day, I mean, there's going to be evolutions to it, but wrestling's always going to be the number one skill set because it's the one thing where you can just, if you can't get out of some dude, if some dude's holding you on the ground, you can't do it. Like, you can catch a lucky strike and get knocked out, but it's very rare that a great wrestler gets defeated by a bad wrestler, but a great striker gets defeated by a bad striker if he just takes one. It's too much volatility.
What's crazy is for those who aren't UFC people, and you can relate to me because I'm not a UFC guy.
Yeah.
So these old ones, they're making them fight like 3-4 times a night.
Oh yeah, it's tournament style.
It's a tournament style, and so what I thought was not fair was in like UFC 3, I think. A guy gets injured before the final and they throw an alternate into the final and he wins. Yep. And this guy is fresh and has to face a guy who's fought 3 times tonight. And like he wins obviously and is the champion of the UFC. Like, how is that fair?
They were still figuring it out,
I guess. So folks, for those also wondering, the commentary team is not great.
Joe Rogan's going to show up before you know it. He shows up pretty early on.
The number one, the number one mic in the very first UFC was atrocious and they shipped him out. And then, but Jim Brown was the number 2 mic. And for some reason they kept Jim Brown, who's a football player.
Yeah.
Dude, he has no idea what's going on.
Well, dude, you got to think there's literally nobody did because you're pretty much inventing a sport. Like,
okay, fair enough.
Like you got to think like they had to like their best idea was bringing like somebody that was like does like any sort of like you could maybe bring like a boxing guy, but the boxing guy doesn't know what the fuck, like as soon as it goes to the ground, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. But like I don't know, Jim Brown was like kind of low key famous though, like around that time.
Really?
Like, he's an actor, big activist. Like trying to think who would be today if we try to get it, but I don't know. It's kind of wild to think about where it was, but like, yeah, you can find those old fights on YouTube. UFC 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I watch them. Yeah, I might watch number 5 tonight.
Yeah,
I skipped through all the dumb like weigh-in stuff and just watched like the fight.
Yeah,
but
and
I am learning a lot of more. Dude, in the 90s, it seems like a lot of dudes were out there doing karate for no reason.
Well, you think when they were, because they were just literally, what would happen is they'd go and they'd be like, well, we need to fill this up. And they would just go to like dojos and be like, who's your best guy? And they'd just send them in. And then what would happen is you'd get some guy like Dan Severn that was just a fucking wrestler and would just pull that dude to the ground and just sweat him out for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's maybe like been one successful karate guy in the UFC, Lyoto Machida, but
karate is crazy. Every
Thompson.
Kid that did karate that I grew up with, if you did karate, you probably went to a different house on weekends.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, the thing is, it seems like I don't know a ton of dudes that did anything. Like maybe these kids did some boxing, but it was like wrestling and maybe boxing. Now
wrestling was big where I'm from. Wrestling, we have a really good wrestling program.
High school, it seemed like a lot of dudes were doing jujitsu too, like BJJ, like right around like that time. Like I knew multiple people that were big into jujitsu.
Dude, these BJJ guys now, again, the buddy that's across the street.
Yeah.
These BJJ guys are scary, bro.
Well, listen, that
Yo, you want to go roll? Yeah, I'm going to go roll.
No, I don't want my neck or knees to be fucked. But I mean, I used to go a couple times in high school, and this is, if anything, it'll teach you this. And this is a life lesson take for the younger kids. Listen to this. This is a good lesson when you're going out to bars, not to get in fights. You have no idea who is out there that can just absolutely turn your lights off. It could be some dude that's like 5'6", 130 pounds, could sleep you.
Yeah. There's no advantage to fighting because you fall and hit your head on the pavement and you die.
Yeah.
Or you kill a guy and then you're in jail.
Yeah. Pretty cool story, though.
I guess.
But it's like, it gets to the point where like you literally will see dudes. And like, I mean, I would go roll with dudes and they'd be guys like half my size would immediately tap me out. And you're just like, oh, it's just levels to this shit. So, I mean, if you learned anything, it doesn't matter how big you are, unless you got some skill, like, bro, you're going to get smoked. Even if some dude rolls like every other like month.
Yeah. That's
too
weird.
Especially me. I'm all fucking limbs. I'm all fucking arms and knees. Like I'm just a knee bar waiting to happen for some dude. Like he's going to roll me up and tear my rotator cuff immediately.
Yeah, someone's gonna throw me out of the ring like they threw DJ Jazzy Jeff out the door in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Would you love, like, what if you were like Frank? Because I know you like the taller girls. What if you're hooking up with some chick and she just immediately just like slips like an anaconda choke on you? You into it?
Don't even know what that is, but I'm not gonna be opposed to it.
Like, what if she's like behind you and she's put you in a heel hook?
You're saying things. You're saying words.
Yeah, you don't know what they mean.
Don't know what they mean.
Okay, Google it.
But you know what? I'm going to agree to it. Speaking of taller girls, check this chick out. I'm going to text her to you.
Send it to me?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
You sound like, oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. No, I had it and then it went away. Of course it did. So this chick, let me preface it by saying, before it gets sent, this girl slid into my DMs on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you, man.
Smoke?
Yeah. Guess what her occupation is?
Or
guess what sector? I guess I shouldn't say occupation. Guess what sector?
Medical sales.
Nope.
Hold on. Got medical sales. I'm gonna go with PR.
No. Pick incoming. All right, pick is delivered. 2 picks delivered.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of her.
Too many. There's a lot of likes on that picture. That worries me.
Yeah, there is.
Worries me. I don't like.
Yeah, there is.
I don't like seeing all those because, especially, it's not even like a very like. It's not like a slutty picture.
No, it's not.
It's not a slutty picture. Are you seeing the remaining time on here, Frank?
Yeah, we have 10 minutes. It's fine. Okay. I've been timing it too off.
Okay. I've been seeing that, so I don't know. Good for you, but that's a lot. You're swimming a pretty full pool there. So
come on.
I'm just saying it's a lot of likes. I don't know.
Have confidence. So
I do have confidence.
You didn't answer. She works in the fashion sector.
Oh. So is fucking everybody in New York. Jesus, who the fuck's that care?
She's pretty though?
Yeah, that's like driving through like middle of nowhere, West Virginia. You're like, oh, I'm in the farmer industry. They're like, okay, yeah, you have a fucking John Deere hat. Everybody goes in the fucking fashion industry in New York. Point me one that doesn't.
It's weird. It's
fashion.
Like we've chatted before, but she went out of her way to DM me, and I'm noticing this was after, like a night or two after, I posted an Instagram story of me behind the DJ booth at a hot club in the city because my friend's a DJ.
You love that.
And I should have told that story. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna tell the quick version. Then we got picks.
Okay.
So my friend is a DJ. What?
We gonna be able to get through our picks in time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my rundown is take it.
Okay.
So my friend is a DJ in the city, and she got me on this list. I get to skip the line at this hot club in Midtown. I walk up to it, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Franklin. I'm here for such and such. I'm on the list." And they go, "Oh, Mr. Miller, right this way." They give me like some black light stamp. I'm passing the line. It's awesome. So I'm in this club. Drinks are $25. I get a couple seltzer waters, crushing them, and sitting there dancing, listening to my friend like do her DJ thing. It's great. It's a really good time. In the middle of her set, she invites me up and another friend up onto the booth, like onto the stage.
Yeah.
And so we're there, like getting the crowd bumping. We're on stage, and we're on there almost as long as we took a video and then like immediately got like kicked off stage because the club manager was like, hey, we know you guys are friends with her, but we can't do this right now. And I was like, all right.
31-year-old me, that sounds like a nightmare.
As soon as we get back onto the dance floor area,
mm-hmm.
the amount of girls that came up to us was insane.
You loved it.
And all they did, they flirted with you and they asked if you had any ketamine or cocaine.
And you're like, of course, I got both.
I go, what type? I go, what type of vibe are you looking for? She's like, I don't know. I'm more of like a K, like Coke kind of girl. And I'm like a chill guy. And then like her friends were walking away. I go, I think your friends are leaving you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. New York City sounds like a nightmare.
It's great.
Sounds like a nightmare. We're off such a different vibe right now.
I'm a club guy now.
Oh,
charge it to the lifestyle. I'm a club guy now.
Oh man.
All right, we got 7 minutes. All right. I have 1, 2, 3, 5 picks, but there's no real rhyme or reason to them.
What I want you to do is, since we gotta hurry, you give me your picks, I'll give you mine. I just want you to go down the list. We're not gonna
down the list. Yeah. Here we go. A Funder factory over here.
Okay.
Pitt and Virginia under 40.5. Both teams' offense stink.
1 unit.
1 unit. All 1 unit this week.
Okay.
Rice, Western Kentucky under 61.
Any explanation?
Fade the public.
Okay.
Boston College and NC State under 41.5. NC State scores 38. Boston College scores 3. Okay. K-State plus 2.5. They're better than Baylor.
Okay.
Texas Tech, Kansas under 64.
You're just loving these unders.
They hit.
Okay. That's everything?
That's it.
No explanations for these.
I gave quick explanations.
Quick ones.
You told me to run it down.
I said give a quick explanation. So I'm going to give mine, which is, you kind of touch on it. I'm going NC State. I think it's minus, what is it, around 19.5?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Give me NC State minus 19.5. The same reason you said, I don't think Boston College is going to score more than 10. I think NC State can get in the 30s.
Yep.
Pretty easily. So
sounds like we're basically on the same pick on that.
I was leaning towards the over, but I didn't. I think NC State rolls. I think NC State wins by 20 to 30. That is going to be a 1 unit play. NC State minus 19.5. Give me Penn State minus 10.5 against Maryland. 1 unit play.
Ooh, is Tagovailoa still hurt?
He's always in and out, but I like Penn State. I like how it seems like they're starting to gel a little bit. I don't know. I'm looking at this. I don't think Maryland's going to be able to keep up. I don't think Maryland, even with that offense, is going to be able to score a ton. You were kind of on that under last week. Give me Penn State 10.5, 1 unit play. Next, I have UCF plus 1.5. That is a 2 unit play. So UCF up and down, but they're actually on the road, not at the bounce house. UCF's been pretty good to me.
The bounce house.
UCF plus 1.5, 2 unit play. And then I'm doing another alternate. I lost last week because of West Virginia. I'm still, I think, like 7-3 on these, 6-3, something on these, still doing really good. I'm going to do over 58.5 West Virginia, Oklahoma with Bama minus 6, 2 unit play. West Virginia, Oklahoma, they're going to score. West Virginia's going to get back to scoring against Oklahoma. And then Bama should be pissed off against Ole Miss. And obviously, Saban still loves to kick the shit out of Lane Kiffin. So I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas. 6 unit play, or excuse me, Bama minus 6, 2 unit play. No, easy on that. 2 unit play. So I'm going to recap these real quick. Pitt UVA under 40.5, 1 unit play. Rice under 61.
Yep.
1 unit play. BC, NC State under 41.5. We can middle that. 1 unit play. K-State plus 2.5, 1 unit play. Texas Tech, Kansas under 64, 1 unit play. Yinzer's got NC State minus 19 in the hook, 1 unit. Penn State minus 10 in the hook, 1 unit. UCF plus 1.5, 2 units. And over 58.5 West Virginia, Bama minus 6, 2 unit parlay. That breaks down to about minus 104. So practically no juice on that.
Look at that. We even got 3.5 minutes to spare.
Wow.
Let's use this 3.5 minutes wisely.
Okay. So, I mean, those are the picks. I think we're going to do pretty good. Next week, I think what I'm going to do is, I think next week, depending on how I go, I might spray the board. I might do an 8 or 9 pick week next week because I feel like I'm chopping it and it's hurting my variance. I know you were going small, and you know what? I looked at my board last week. I played about 11 picks and I went about 7-4, and it seems like I played the 4 that lost. So,
yeah, well, I got murdered.
But next week also, I don't want to do too many teasers. Next week, also, I just remembered a story, but I want to save it for next week.
Okay.
So it's not going to be quite as degenerate as the one last week, but we're getting back to the roots. It's a pretty degen story.
Can you tease it?
No, I'm gonna go completely blank.
Come on. Now I am upset that I kind of wanted to hear a little.
It's pretty good. But we're gonna say for next week. Okay. We're gonna go back to D. We're gonna do that. I actually have some good stuff for Broad Corner next week.
Okay.
Well. So we got.
I'll have an update. Oh, dude. You remember the Australian chick that I'm in love with?
Yes.
So my friend, they were at a party together, and I told her to put a good word in for me. She was like, "Oh, don't worry, I got you."
Yeah.
So, maybe send a DM her way in the
couple irons in the fire.
Couple irons in the fire.
All I'm gonna say is the New York club scene sounds exhausting. I'm glad I don't have to do it.
I'm a club guy now.
Oh God, that's the worst evolution.
Dude, these like young, fresh out of college kid, like first year analysts, like finance guys were asking me and my buddy, how much did they make you guys pay to get in? And we go, oh, nothing. We got in for free. We're friends with the DJ. And they go, we paid $200.
Yeah, those dudes are also making like 190,000 out of college. So
I don't know about that. Those dudes were some marks, man. They were some marks.
Let me tell you, those dudes, they're fine. They're fine. I'm sure Daddy's pocketbook is helping them out. They're fine.
Quick thing before we run out of time. World Cup starts soon. How far do you think USA goes? Because I might put a future in on USA to make it out of group play at like plus 100 something.
I think they make it out of group because who's in their group? It's England,
Wales, and Iran.
They'll beat Iran. Wales will be the tricky one. England,
yeah, you got to get. If you beat Wales, it's over, obviously. Yeah. But you got to get some points. All right, we're less than a minute. Any closing words?
We're gonna get back on track. This is Get Right Week, and next week we are gonna go. I want to do a longer one next week because I got a lot of stuff.
All right, we'll do a long one this week. Okay. All right, we had technical issues. That's why we had to go short. Okay, love you. Bye.
See you, buddy. Love you.